All right, welcome along to our coverage of event number 8 in Canberra. My name's Aidan, I'm the popcorn guy, and I'm here with Rangor. Rangor, welcome along.
Thanks, Aidan.
So we're going to look at the grand final between Jack Ding and Jacob Dunn.
Yeah.
Any comments before we get started?
We both know Jack is a formidable, excellent player around Sydney, and
Regular top 8 contender.
And Jacob's a strong performer from the Canberra area. He does quite well, quite often.
Okay, so let's see how they get stuck into this. And what you'll see here is Jacob using the play space very creatively. You'll notice during this whole match, his whole graveyard is displayed across the table here. Jack not wasting any time.
So Jack's straight out of the gate, playing a nail list. Jacob's playing Faithless Looting, Graveyard Recursion.
Yeah, he affectionately named it Seance Flair.
Yep. Saw the list over the weekend. It was quite interesting and unique take on things.
It is. How much of its success do you attribute it to its, shall we say, rogue nature?
Because graveyard decks haven't been hugely reliant, a lot of people aren't packing the hate for it that they did. He kind of took a punt on the metagame and it got him there. So well done with that idea.
Yeah, I noticed his teammate Ben Spark was running the same deck.
Yep, I saw that. So he's just going through his motions at the moment. He's just trying to find something interesting for his graveyard. Jack's not going to waste any time and get his beat on as quick as he can. So Jack not having a 4-drop or a 3-drop at that stage isn't good for Jack. He may be holding a Resto Angel.
Yeah, I think he is.
Game him card advantage, if that helps.
So can you describe to our viewers just the overall strategy that Jacob Dunn is employing here?
Well, he's basically a graveyard-based deck. So his main point there is to recur a Sun Titan with a bunch of images and just pound somebody straight away, one shot.
Okay.
He's also packing a Laboratory Maniac Phantasmal image combo.
And the Mirror Mad
Phantasm. Yeah. So Seance allows him to target things in his graveyard and put them into play, and by uniquely ordering his stack, he can win.
We see Jack taking advantage of the card advantage there.
Helping him advance his game state to get his beat on through this deck. Jack's main plan against this deck is to race, to just bash him before he can do anything of relevance.
And just while we wait on Jack, I just want to mention Jacob Dunn, member of Team Sparkle Motion. I have no idea why they called themselves that, but it is a Canberra-based team, and they've accrued some pop-lot points at the end of this event. So at this stage, it's looking good for Jack. He's got his beat on.
Yep, Jack's where he needs to be at this stage. He needs early beat, but there are quite a few phantasmal images in that graveyard, which is not good for Jack, because that's going to be how Jacob will move forward in this match. Jacob's starting to get to that crucial mana that he needs. His reliant cards are quite a high mana cost. We see here he's going to keep digging to find the answers he needs. Not enough white mana.
Yeah, nice try though, eh?
He's incorrectly tapped his mana there. If he had tapped his Singleton red for his Faithless Looting, then he would have had his extra white open. So he chooses to O-ring the Resto Angel.
Yep.
At this point, Jack can get quite a lot of advantage off an Acidic Slime here. An Acidic Slime would allow him to... he's chosen the Bonfire. Acidic Slime would allow him to release the Resto Angel, flicker the Acidic Slime, and then take out a white source to keep himself away from dodge.
PTQ in a bitch.
Oh, who was that?
Looks like Handsome Devil doing a photo bomb there, I believe. Holding his Pro Tour dice that he was ordered from the day before.
And subsequently got chased around the venue by a judge.
I do believe he actually left the venue at this stage before he got arrested. So there, instead of releasing his Resto Angel, Jack's done damage with the bonfire to draw the dodge.
Right, so we think he'll come down with the acidic slime now? Get his Resto back?
Yeah, it's probably pretty relevant that that's going to come soon. It's hugely a good play for Jack to do that, to take out a white sauce. White ball of that.
Oh, really? That sucks.
Oh,
That was an interesting choice.
that's not going to make Gary Wong very happy seeing that on the coverage footage. That's probably a slight misplay by Jack to not release himself from the Resto Angel and get a 2-4. And now we have... Is that the Seance?
Yes, that is Seance. Not a commonly played card, hence the reason why Jack picks it up and has a good read.
So now every upkeep Jacob can be in exiling creatures. So he's chosen to exile a Stonehorn Dignitary and put a copy of that in, and that will lock Jack's combat set.
Right, so Jacob came prepared with these customised tokens.
Yep. He knew what he was playing. It's a new player should take note of that. If you know you make tokens and things like that, you should be carrying them. So Blades Blaster.
There's been a new point distribution. Wherever I finish, 100 points. I drop.
And not releasing that Resto Angel could be crucial, to be honest. Having that flyer could be really relevant. So Jacob didn't exile anything in his turn because he's only got images. He doesn't want acidic slimes. He could blow up Gavany Township, but Jack's got 2, so it's not hugely relevant for him. Instead, he's going to Forbidden Alchemy and keep digging and trying to load his graveyard.
I would just like to note here that Jacob Dunn's style of play is quite defensive. You can see this wall that he builds across the table using his graveyard. I have it on good authority that Dr. Chris, the Popolot gnome, would be kept at bay by this strategy.
I played Jacob before when he wasn't playing this deck, and he didn't do that with his graveyard. I believe this is purely based on the fact that he needs to know what's his graveyard at all states, so he's using it like a hand. But yeah,
Sure.
I can see the Popolot gnome being quite upset at this stage, and his cards may end up in his opponent's graveyard. So he's copied the acidic slime to take out the token.
I don't have random image token. Yeah, that's fine.
It's interesting to note his other options would have been to copy the Blade Slicer, get his own token. Jack couldn't have really done any damage. He could have chunked block, and Jacob would have bought an extra turn with a 3/3. He'll just trade that for acidic slime.
Yeah, and then exile it next turn, perhaps.
Take 2.
He can't target Jack's graveyard, only his own.
Oh, okay. Jack's got... Is that Bonfire in hand with a bird behind the bird?
I love how
I saw Bonfire earlier, but yeah, he has got another one.
I'm going to name him. Yeah.
He knows Jack's down to 5, and if that Resto Angel had been free, it would have done 4 damage off the extra one from the Gavany Township. So his opponent would now be on 1.
Target image. Look it up. Yeah.
Well, I know the way Jacob plays this deck, he's just using his life as a buffer. He doesn't really care how much life he has.
Yeah, which is a hugely relevant point. A lot of players don't realise that that's the whole point. You need to use those 20 life, and if you win when you're on 19, you still win. See him digging like mad here to get himself answers.
Yep.
Looting. Flashback looting.
Is that perhaps a precursor golem underneath that plains?
Not sure. Were the precursors mainboard or sideboard?
Oh, I don't remember.
I think they might have been sideboard.
Yeah.
It's a white card, so it's either an enchantment, a dodge, or a Sun Titan.
Yeah, you're right. That was sideboard.
It's okay. Jacob's still in an alright position. He can copy the Blade Splicer with an image and make himself a 3/3 token. He's going to have to take 2 off the budgie. 1 off the budgie, sorry.
Yeah. Your turn. Upkeep. Yep. Oh, yeah, I get it.
So he's exiled the Sphinx.
Piles, 1 goes in here.
And Jack gets to make 2 piles out of the cards that he's got there. And so it's probably important we say what the Sphinx does because you won't have seen that in a deck this standard season.
I was just going to say, it's not a commonly played card, is it?
No. So you pull 5 and Jack makes 2 piles and he picks which one he wants and which one he doesn't.
It's basically the fact or fiction with wings, isn't it?
It is. It's a big fat fact or fiction bird.
Go draw.
So at this stage, the freed Resto Angel would have ended the game on this turn. Jacob would have had to play much differently to try and keep himself safe, but he hasn't really drawn anything to take that Resto Angel out. He's now starting to get control even though he's only on 5 life. He has a massive flyer. And I'm pretty sure he just picked up a Stonehorn Dignitary out of the gifts pile. Now Jack's taking a long time to think this over, and scoops, he does.
So Jack read the game state pretty well there, and I know we've looked at Jack's sideboard. There we go. He took the 2 Zealous Conscripts out of the sideboard. Yep. A logical addition.
Straight up, that would have been the only thing in Jack's deck that I think he could use.
Yeah, looking at his deck list, they were the only 2 answers, weren't they?
Yeah, they really were. So now he's going through pulling out things that are really bad, and then he'll probably look at his sideboard again for things that are semi-bad just to give himself a better variance. Here we see he goes, I'll take my sword.
All right, well, let's see how they go in game 2, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, good call. Okay, so this game starts fairly quickly. Jack off to his usual start, playing a Mana Accelerator.
Jack's got one of the swords in his hand, I believe, that he brought it in.
Yeah.
He throws down the Blade Splicer.
Again, it looks like he's off to a blistering start.
Yeah, he's doing okay over start. He can't cast a sword and equip and attack all in one turn yet, which is going to be relevant. Borderland Ranger. Beautiful plains there he has.
This is very slippery. Yeah, I know.
So Jack's getting off to a blistering start. Jacob can't really interact yet, bar Fressian Unlife.
Perhaps an O-ring for limited use.
An O-ring, yeah. The O-ring's not really great at this stage. it takes out the Blade Splasher token, but a Resto Angel will replace that. So
what do you reckon? Just sit. Jacob's going to sit back until he gets to 4 mana and dodge, maybe.
yeah, dodge is a good out for him. That's a really good play, giving himself a token. It's like a pseudo fog. So Jack probably wants land.
Okay, so we saw him pull a Resto Angel there.
Yeah, which is really great with the Blade Splasher.
You mean token? Yeah. I like this one. Yeah. Can I have that one?
Just thinking over the most optimal play,
This is better than mine.
as Jack's well known for.
I like a lot. I don't actually know who your guy is. No, I do.
It's almost like he's pondering.
Almost. In fact, I believe someone in the audience right now is waiting for him to resolve a ponder.
So he's killed the Blade Splicer, which means that Jacobs doesn't have first strike anymore. It only has normal strike.
Just that?
Jacob chumps.
Okay, take 2. Yep. Okay.
He doesn't look overly worried about losing his creatures there, so we're assuming he's got an answer. And there we see it.
Dodge.
My turn.
Jack's getting some land. Jack really wants to have 5 land so he can throw in, here he goes, cantripping, looking for the extra land. Being able to end a turn the Resto and then play and equip a sword in 1 turn will keep Jacob off. Faithless. So now Jacob's starting to begin to set up his own endgame.
Okay. Last turn.
Is that unlock?
Seance, I believe.
Silence.
So again, his signature move, exiling Sphinx of Uthon.
Yep, finding himself some gas.
I think I overheard during the day he won a match with Mirror Mad Phantasm and Lab Maniac.
Yeah.
His alternate win condition.
Yeah, he is running that combo, and by ordering his stack properly, he can win without an opponent realising.
Interesting choice here for Jack.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Like, this pile isn't like the last pile that he had last game. So Jack probably needs to find his acidic slime and take that seance out. Just some creatures and keep some enablers and removal. There's the 5th land Jack was looking for earlier. This
And
stage,
with Jacob tapped out, he should be looking to do something. Yeah.
acidic slime on seance. There we go. So this allows Jack to come back into the game now. Jacob will have to find other ways to do it. He uses his basic land this time for the Faithless. Further,
Spicy.
Yeah, he's running one copy of Fervor.
Yeah.
All his creatures haste.
If he builds up his grave with phantasmal images and then casts a Sun Titan, he could just overwhelm Jack in one turn.
Actually, I think he did that during the day with Precursor Golem tokens. It's quite amusing.
Yeah, that's exactly how he'll pull that off. So another dodge.
And there we see he makes really good use of that dodge to control the game state and get into the position he wants to be in. What's the most logical thing for Jack to do here?
I'm not sure how many small dudes Jack has in his hand, but he'll either have a creature. Here we go, we're going to see. So Huntmaster is probably the best move for Jack. He can use the resto at end of turn anytime he wants, but if he puts a Huntmaster down, he has resto targets to just overwhelm Jack in one shot.
So Forbidden Alchemy again.
Really is good for Jacob to fill his grave out. He's doing...
Yep.
Yeah, he gets so much advantage out of this sticking.
Well, in that format, I have a bit more hate for that deck. Yeah. Sounds.
Another seance?
Dog like, what was that? 9 cards to find one.
Yeah. Yep.
So now I don't think Jack has any other way to really interact with that seance at all. He's already used his acidic slime.
And we see the fact or fiction with wings again.
So there's the Sun Titan.
Burial rights, a couple of lands, 3 land.
He's got some image like this. This isn't a great spot for Jack. This is really where Jacob wants to be. Jack's about to get overwhelmed by Sun Titans.
So just put Sun Titan on its own and the 4 other cards, maybe?
It's really such a tough choice that it probably doesn't matter which way Jack builds these stacks. Jacob will get exactly what he wants. So, Bin Titan. Which is the issue if Jack puts a Sun Titan on his own, Jacob gets a handful of gas, a handful of land and recurring. So now we can get Sun Titan. I think there's an image. And further, and then attack, and get O-ring, and we'll see what else is in there.
Huh? Yeah, it's okay, use a target. Yeah, I'm gonna choose Stone Horn.
Yeah.
And I'll take 2. I'll get this one.
Exile Stonehorn Dignitarian. Nice.
So that's to lock up the game. He's got an Unburial Rights in hand that he can
Unburial Rights.
go with. There we go.
Nice call. So this is what you were talking about, the Sun Titan into all the phantasmal images.
2 images and further, and he can now attack with 3 Sun Titans and the Stonehorn, and trigger 3 more things. Get back an O-ring mid-combat to exile something, so he chooses a land. An O-ring for the Huntmaster.
So 2 lands in play already? Yeah.
Sorry, on target, yeah.
Resto, flicker Huntmaster in response. Get a wolf. Buy yourself another turn.
I mean, given the game state, that was a brilliant play by Jack, given he's got limited options against this deck.
Yeah, he's really in a tough spot right now. He doesn't actually have a way to wipe out all those Sun Titans in one turn, which means he's on the back foot majorly.
Block 2 of the zones. Take 6.
It was interesting to note, and I think you commented on this, that a lot of the decks that could deal with Jacob's Seance Flare were actually eliminated
Oh, sorry.
by the time we got to the top 8.
Yeah, they were. There's a lot of decks that could have targeted the Sun Titans, can exile stuff in the bin, or deal with the enchantments a lot more effectively than Jack had his deck set up to.
So I guess where I'm going with that is the success of the Seance Flare deck. It did owe a fair bit to matchups during the day, not to draw anything away from it.
Yeah, well, it's the same as any major event. These given tiers that people give decks, they only matter based on the opponents that you face. So if you get pairings against all the same deck and you're prepared for it, you'll make it to the end. If you get decks that weren't prepared for you, then you've got an easier matchup. And it all comes down to what other people are doing at all stages. There's a lot of skill to these games, but there's also some luck. As Lindsay Hemming would say, it's better lucky than good. So Jack can't outright kill him even with a sword over the top, and he dies on the way back. Jacob can fill the hell out of his bin.
Sure. Sure. Target one image. Sure. Take 2.
Jack passes down and kills an image, but it comes back to combat.
Target image. I'm not going to get it back. You're on 17.
So it chooses not to trigger the seance because he doesn't want his image to get exiled. At this stage he probably just digs. Oh no, he's counting up.
It's probably worth mentioning here that Jacob Dunn actually played this same deck the day before during the PTQ. Limited success.
Yeah, both him and his teammate didn't have a fantastic run the day before, but they may have just got more unlucky, faced opponents that were paired with graveyard answers or what have you.
Your Sun Titan? Yeah. I'm going to kill the Angel. Yeah.
So Jack double blocks.
The other one's dead, right? Yep.
Sun Titan. Jack can come flashback.
Oh, Stormtide Leviathan.
Now there's a flyer. Jack's lost his flyer.
So
That's a Stormtide Leviathan.
are you
underestimating?
I believe that was a sideboard card, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was. It's interesting that he brought that in, but I suppose he wasn't overly scared of the birds and resto angels, so. Now Jack has to answer that, or find a flyer before he can do any more damage.
So I'm skipping combat, yeah?
I see a sword and a pilgrim in Jack's hand.
Yeah. Jack's in a really tough position. He's facing down Sun Titan armies. He's flipping his dude backwards and forwards, killing whatever he can and doing damage to Jacob, just trying to stay in the game.
Target Sun Titan.
Yep.
That sounds.
Yep.
Jacob to exile the Sun Titan. The image.
Back Stormtide Leviathan.
Yep.
Copied Leviathan, is it?
So yeah.
So now he has 2 Leviathans.
Is there a problem?
It must.
Just one second,
The phantasmal image closest to his library, what's that? Is that a
It's
Sun Titan?
16.
Finishes the game with 2 Stormtide Leviathans. How's that?
It's interesting. Jacob did good. He managed to pull it through the meta and got there.